से बुलाया नाम जब तेरा.
So I watched this movie the other day, Mahavtar Narasimha. I didn't think it would be playing here in Australia, but it was. And such a wonderful experience, such a beautiful movie, beautiful songs, such a well-told story, very fluid, just flowing with devotion, beautiful characterizations, and the way that it was able to capture the subtlety and depth of emotion was really quite something. And it got me thinking that I think AI is really going to help India a lot, and especially in bringing out these stories from the Puranas and from our ancient culture, which so far we weren't really able to tell with that kind of power and intensity and authenticity, because we didn't have the tools. If you try to portray these stories in books or as cartoons, they're not able to do it. But with AI, we're just able to bring out how real these stories actually are. Things like cosmic wars and half lion, half man, and the Narasimha avatar. All these things have seemed very fantastical to us, but AI is really able to bring reality to the imagination, in trying to imagine what it must have been like, what the avatar must have been like, and these ancient cities, these colossal cities and huge palaces that we only hear about, and we only have some archaeological remains, but to just imagine what they must have actually been like, I think AI is coming the closest to that. And I really do think it's going to help Sanatana Dharma become more popular and be able to tell its stories. Because so far I think the younger generation of India has not really been able to connect to these stories, but with these kinds of movies that will change. And so then when we speak about Bharat as the Vishwaguru, this is the way that will happen. It's not really about economic domination or having all of the world's top companies and the stock markets flying high. All of that is great, but for India, that's always a secondary thing or a byproduct of the spiritual depth and the spiritual intensity. So, India is one country where the spirit has to lead, must lead. It is just how it has to be, because it is the custodian, of Dharma and of Sanatana Dharma. And if we can bring this kind of bhav out to the world, then that is how we will become the Vishwaguru. So, Bollywood actually has already, set a kind of precedent. So the way people resonate with Bollywood movies all over the world is also for this reason, for the fact that we can really bring the depth of emotion out. I think that's really the treasure of Bharat, is that the depth of devotion and the emotion of devotion, the bhav. And our Bollywood movies also have connected with global audiences on that basis, that we were able to connect to people's emotions with the love songs and the love stories. And now it is time to mature that emotion into a more divine emotion, so related to the divine and related to the spiritual dimension. And that is what we need to spread to the world. That is our power. It's the heart power. It's not the hard power. It's the heart that has to be reawakened first in ourselves, in us as a country, and then it will be a light to the world by itself. And just touching a little bit on the actual story of the Mahavtar Narasimha. Such a powerful story about trust and surrender to the divine. So, really walking in that trust and surrender. And it's so beautifully portrayed by, Prahlad Maharaj, who's just a boy of 5, and the unshakable faith that he has. And it's not blind faith, it's the faith of a jnani, the one who knows how it is, that really God is in every atom. So, ours has always been devotion and faith based on that deep knowing, not just blind faith, not just fanatical, but rooted in the knowing of the nature of reality. And also, the different avatars kind of portray to us the evolution of consciousness in a way, or the evolution of a devotee. So in this story, for example, you've got a lot of opposition coming to the devotee from people who don't understand and who are not on the same path. And this is something that, everybody on the spiritual path faces at some point or another, is opposition from close ones, from near and dear ones, or from society. And, it's a given that it will happen, because really the more dense consciousness does not like to be around the higher and the lighter consciousness. So when somebody begins to elevate in consciousness, there will be friction, there will be opposition and attacks even. It's just the way, of nature or of life. And that is the focus of this story of Narasimha and Prahlad ji. And it's just, a testament to faith in the face of that kind of opposition. This is why so many spiritual people prefer to live alone or live away or take sannyas, is because, once somebody is really deepening in their love for the divine, and really, as the sadhana intensifies, the outer situations tend to be, ruffled up, and they don't like it. So, it is just the way of things. And so that's why I feel like the avatars are bringing to light different stages in the path of a devotee or a seeker. So, for example, when we reach like Sri Ram, that's the stage when you are feeling that deep peace of the divine. And then obviously then with Sri Krishna, it's a deep love and bliss of union with the divine. So, it is such a beautiful story and such a good reminder, and it gives faith to everybody on the path, is to trust, to really trust in him, and know that he is watching your way, and he will be there to protect. So Narasimha Avatar is the fiercest and most ferocious avatar, but he's also the most loving and the most kind, because he's the one who has met all the conditions that were put, for the like Hiranyakashipu cannot be killed because of these reasons, and he met all of the conditions that you can't kill him either in the daytime or at night. You can't kill him inside the house or outside, either on the ground or in the air. So he met each and every condition. So that's a testament to how deeply he loves the devotee, and at the same time he is the most ferocious. So yeah, I think, all of the avatars are just, they're just such ways for us to deepen in our love and our devotion. So, I think it's a wonderful movie for everyone to watch. And I do hope they continue to make these kinds of movies, because this is really, the heart and soul of India. And this is what we need to bring out to the world. Everything else, it will follow, and it should be a byproduct of this. So leading with this. And it is also what the world needs and is looking for, even though it may not know that this is what it's looking for, or, this is what it needs. Thank you.
से बुलाया नाम जब तेरा